Rightio, we are here in beautiful, sunny Ballarat, catching up firstly with Anton Golino. Thanks for coming back to Campbell's Comments, mate.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks for having me.
It's not really beautiful and sunny, that's for sure. It's a typical winter's day here in Ballarat, but the week that's just been, I don't think you'd worry too much about the weather, would you?
No, Paul, we've had a good week, you know. It makes it a little easier to get up in the morning, that's for sure. But, it's always makes it a little easier. 400
winners. I don't think we celebrate enough of our achievements. It's a mighty achievement. It's a big, big achievement. Was it ever something that was on your radar? I know we had a conversation prior to it and you didn't even know you had achieved it until Pat came up and gave you a handshake on the night. But was it something on your radar, 400 or 500 winners, or was it just you go about your job?
Yeah, mate, I just go about my job. Them sort of things not really what drives me, I guess. Basically... I love winning races, don't get me wrong, that's why we do it. But basically once they're won, I just try and focus on the next one, I really enjoy them at the time, that like we all do, but I'll get home and I might sort of lay in bed and watch the replays, but after that's it, I'm sort of focused on the next one. So, yeah, I wouldn't say the statistics or numbers and that really drive me, but I'm happy that it happened.
Going to throw you under the bus. Do you remember your first winner?
My first winner actually was in the States. I was probably training on my own. It was a filly that I trained. It turned out to be quite a good horse called Kiss Don't Bite. Jimmy Rattray drove her for me, actually. She won a heat of the Sire Stakes out at the Meadows. And, she turned out to be a real good horse. Made, I think, about 600,000 life and took a mark of like 49 or something. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun, I remember that day obviously very well, and it was a big thrill.
It's one of the things I love about our sport. I think we get so wrong in the way that we promote it. Like, you've trained 400, you've been in different countries, you've achieved a lot. You could have answered that question just then and said, no, it escapes me at the minute. But you just love the racing. You love it. You're an encyclopedia to talk to. You can be scary sometimes to talk to. But I think where we get our industry wrong a lot of the times is we forget the romance of it. And when you achieve 400 winners and that, I think we've got to celebrate it just that little bit more, I reckon, anyway.
Oh, yeah, it's... I guess for anyone, Paul, it's an achievement, and yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of different ways we could probably... promote the industry, I guess, I don't, it's not really my thing, but I think there's probably a lot of ways we can promote people's achievements, and it doesn't matter who it is or what it is, but it's a hard job, so any achievements, it's great, and it's always welcome to be celebrated.
It is indeed. Bianca Brio got the graphic out very, very quickly on you, so don't worry about that. She was onto it, and she does a great job here for you guys. The night in question, like 3 winners for the night, though, must have been so satisfying for you. Especially, I suppose, for 400th for a start. Cravache d'Or, a horse you're very, very keen on. I know you really got a soft spot for him as a racehorse. Yeah,
Paul, it's, to be honest, mate, I'm just really a small cog in the wheel, like anyone that knows the place, it's a big place, and the whole process, from, if I sort of say, Pat's probably the heart of the place, and my partner Sarah, she's probably the backbone of the place, and the whole process of, we breed these horses here, it's not like we go to the sales and buy what we want, what we sort of breed is what we got, and so you watch these horses get born and you watch them get raised, and the girls do a great job on that side of things. I think they're doing a fantastic job raising a good horse here, and then they come through and they've all got their little special meanings, and he's one, he was actually born on Sarah's brother's birthday, so hence he got the name Stu, and so it's just them little things that mean a lot to us, and we've always known he was a good horse, and I think in time he'll be a very good horse. I still think he's probably 12 months away physically. He's got a great mind. The horse has got a great mind, but I think physically he's 12 months away. And you love seeing them horses that mean a little bit do well.
Absolutely, and there you go again. See, your brother-in-law's birthday, and lucky you remembered it. Lucky you remembered his name as well after the rap I gave you.
I don't know what day it is.
Village Mystique had a double. as well, which must be satisfying for you guys here, because we are a breeding barn and a selling barn as well, and that's why you've got the nutrient jacket on, and we will get to that as well. But to be able to get a double with the two fillies must have been one very, very satisfying.
Yeah, Paul, he's a phenomenal stallion, that horse. Like, we're very, very fortunate to get the little bit of semen we did when we did, because he was still in full training at that time. But, he's a horse that I think he's sitting 5th or 6th on the overall French sires, the general sires list, and I think he's only got 5-year-olds his oldest. So he's doing things amazing, Son of Love You, which, top 10 sires list right now in France. I think there's 4 Sons of Love You, and he's very, very special, that horse. He's funnily bred. His third dam's a thoroughbred. He's a special stallion, yeah. So I actually talked with Louis last night. He owned him, raced him, Louis Badron. And we're hoping that, we may be able to get some more semen and hopefully a commercial quantity, So it's very, very satisfying with them two fillies coming out and being good, and he's got only one foal in New Zealand who's a very good horse called Mystic Max that Michael Purden trains, and I think he'll second in the Group 1 Jewels, and he's won a Group 2, and and I think there's only like 5 foals in Australia, and we've got a weanling filly out of a good mare called On Lady Angus that's going to go through the nutrient sale. It's exciting.
Are we sought after?
Yeah, I'd hope so, Paul. I hope, she doesn't make a reserve and I get the keeper, tell the truth. But it is what it is, that's what we do. We like the last 2 years, it's worked well for us, We take them there, they're all for sale, and she'll be for sales, obviously. But, he's a very, very special stallion.
We've got a lot of ground to cover, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. What makes the Love You Sundon cross seem to work? I mean, the first filly, I can't remember which one filly won first. I think it was Amandine, it's out of a Sundon horse. Yes, and it seems to be a cross, either Love You or Sons of Love Yous. We can talk about Village Mystique, but we can talk about a horse like Kinvad Avenger as well. They seem to cross over these Sundons. Two brutes of stallions as far as big horses and that might be, might have got people scared they get too big a horse, but it just seems dynamite. And if you look for the results, it's just one of those great proven formulas at the minute here in Australia and New Zealand. It just seems to be really working.
Yeah, I remember years ago the boss, he said to me that he really thought that it would work well. He was a big believer in the Love You with the Pine Chip horses, which is also a son of Arndon. Yeah. So I guess it's the Arndon factor is probably why it works. I don't know the science behind it, obviously, but it just works. Even early days with horses like Monbay, Engian, even ones we've had here like Arbo and Amour de Frere, they're out of Sundon mares. So, for whatever reason, I think with the Arndon line mares, so whether it be, Sundon, Pine Chip, Dream Vacation, any of them line mares, it just seems to work.
It does, and that's why I asked you. I won't get you to take one more step. You come this way, otherwise you'll be out of the camera, because you are a breeding student as well, and I think it's just one of those things. It's just something that I've been noticing, and I reckon I wouldn't be the only person noticing it. I think it's great for, and it seems to be lifting. You've been overseas. Our standard of trotters definitely seems to be getting closer to the overseas. I think our best horses could well and truly, but even our middle of the road horses are really starting to lift their game.
Yeah, I definitely think, Paul. I still think we're a little way behind. We're probably a few years there behind, but the standout horses I think can go there and be more than competitive. And I know just in recent times horses that we've sold to the States that we're good horses here, and horses like Majestic Player and Lagrange and that they've gone over there and done a job. And they were horses that were sold to different markets, so one was sold at probably the upper end, and he's proven that to be in the upper end, and the other fellow was sold at the middle market, and that's what he was. So I think that's just credit to our breed getting stronger. That's all it is. It's not a case of where they're from or who had them or what. I think it's just an overall the breed's getting stronger, and that's why we do what we do.
Absolutely, yeah, and I agree, and I really enjoy it. I love listening to you. I forget about horses like Majestic Player, who I think is still winning, is he not? I think just recently he won a race. It popped up again. He's just been an awesome horse to represent Australia, really.
Yeah, I think he's won his last three now, Paul. He's ticking on like $500,000 there now, so he's been a great little horse for the people that bought him. He was a great horse for us, He was a 4-year-old of the year and won a Breeders' Crown at 4, and we got good money for him. We were very happy with what we sold him for, and it's really, really satisfying to see him go over there and do a job, because he was another sort of favourite in the barn with the guys. He was a little horse, not much of him, and had a bit of a character. So it's great for the breed.
It is indeed. Saturday night, today's Thursday, in Menangle is the inaugural Nutrien, but also the Harass to Trotters 2-year-old Trotters series. This is mixed sex this year. It'll be the last time it'll be mixed sex from then on. Firstly, put your Harass to Trotters hat on for the minute, to have 4 horses in the final. I think there were 6 in the prelude and a couple have gone by the wayside. There's a first starter that you guys bred. Yep. Must be so satisfying for you guys.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's very satisfying. There's a couple there that I think are going to go on to be very good horses. Obviously the Locomotive, and I've actually got a lot of time for Mick Watt's filly. I think I've watched her a couple of times. I quite liked her as a yearling, and I think in time she's going to be a good horse. She's the one out of KD Muscles and Orlando Vici filly. Yeah, so. There's her, and obviously, Sinocio's got his My Personal Jet having his first start, who's out of a good mare access to success. So, yeah, it's very satisfying. It's great for the farm, and like I said, the guys, they're doing a great job raising these horses. Like, I think, one thing we do well here is raise a good horse. So, I think, the climate allows us to, we're probably a few months behind as far as growth, and they're probably not the biggest, shiniest horses when they come sales day, but I think they grow nice and slow and end up to be a strong, sound horse, and having Sarah and the girls here is a massive help. It's a massive help for the farm, and so watching these horses go elsewhere and do a great job, it's really, really satisfying.
It's a bit of a slow burn when you think about it, isn't it? Because we were talking there before about a couple of yearlings we were videoing back that were this draft. Yeah. Like it's, a year and a half ago. It's sort of a slow burn to see how things actually have worked. And, like I said, I think there's 8 horses in it. 4 of them are being bred here on the farm. It does take time, and you can imagine in another year's time when the next lot of horses come through and you've got the 2 and the 3-year-olds, and I think the races are going to be here at Ballarat. That's going to be even more exciting to get those horses back. The Locomotive, though, being out of Cookie, must give you... I know you've got a huge soft spot for Cookie, and she's just an awesome mare. One as a racehorse, what she's done in the breeding barn as well. To see the face of Wayne and the owner and Wayne's daughter there the other day after he won that race, the thrill that he's given them, the ride that the Locomotive's given these guys, you must be super proud, one, of Cookie, but also of the Locomotive. Yeah,
for sure. And I'm wrapped for Wayne and his owners and obviously his daughter too. It's like I said, it's just very satisfying to see the horses go elsewhere and do well. I think for the longest time, sort of people thought, we sort of kept them here, but it's actually it's really, really satisfying for the farm. It's he was a horse that he was a bit of an ugly duckling as a weanling, but I sort of always thought, and I said to Pat early on, I think I might have even said to Wayne when he bought him, I said, in 12 months' time, I think this horse will be a supermodel, and I remember seeing him when he walked into the trials there one night at Melton, and he is, he's gorgeous. He's a big, leggy horse and got a lot of presence about him, and he's beautiful, and the fact that he goes good is a massive bonus too. But yeah, the mare, she's just an amazing mare, obviously she's been a special mare wherever she's gone, obviously with Andy and Karen early days, she was a great race mare for them, and I know a lot of the time Andy sort of says, he'd love to have one out of her, and she's just a special horse wherever she goes, I think, and she means a lot to us here at the farm.
She does, and she represents you guys so well. I think she does a great job. She actually wasn't that attractive, and I'm sure Andy and Karen will agree with me at the time when they were racing. As a 2-year-old, she wasn't that attractive either, but Well, at the end of her racing career, I think everyone loved her and wanted to have her and thought she was a supermodel to look at. Stallions, just very quickly, because there's a massive changing of the guard this year with Harasta Trotters and how it is going to look. Firstly, On Solitaire will be still standing in New Zealand for chilled semen for the guys there with Mackay Lodge.
Yeah, and all reports are that his progeny look fantastic. I know early days the foals, the reports were that foals were gorgeous. He's a gorgeous horse, great pedigree. You don't become a 280,000 euro yearling for no reason, and it was just unfortunate he hurt himself, that horse. But yeah, his reports are that his yearlings broke in very well, and I'd expect him to do a real good job, that horse.
He's got some very, very nice mares have gone to him too, which is super exciting for him going forward. Again, that slow burn, it was only last year and they're coming back this year, so you've just got to wait, but it is there. Classic Connections returning here this year for his second season. That'll be exciting as well.
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to having him back. He's a horse that's obviously got an amazing pedigree, and he was a superstar himself, so he ticks every box, that horse. He's the son of Love You, and he's a top racehorse. He's out of a mare that made $1 million as a 2-year-old, and I think the biggest probably tick for him is that Mr. Dubois really supported him himself. He believes in the horse, so it's not too often he gets it wrong, and if he believes in him, it's enough for me to believe in him.
He's another one, beautiful horse. Come and have a look at him at the farm, because he's a lovely horse. Beautifully bred. Look at his pedigree and everything. But come and actually firstly meet him. He's just a lovely horse, isn't he?
Yeah, this year he'll be standing in Sydney at Cobbett. Yeah, he'll be at Cobbett Equine there at Belinda and Luke's, and yeah, I'm sure you can get in touch with them guys and go and have a look at him, because he's a very good looking horse.
Sorry, I got that one wrong. But while we're at Belinda and Luke's and the partnership with Harasta Trotters, well, technically the next two boys are, but we'll go with On a Streak first, standing his first season here, but in New South Wales. That's got to be exciting for you guys.
Yeah, he's a horse that we've really got. We're really excited about, Paul. We've done a lot of work to get this horse. We particularly wanted a son of Cantab Hall. We wanted a precocious horse, a high-speed horse. I'm a big believer in stallions having a lot of speed, and he's a horse that we targeted. We've done a lot of work to get him, and finally pulled it off. And so he's one that we're really excited about.
And then the last one, who will be standing with Cobbity, but in Queensland.
Yep.
I've got that part right. Yeah, I thought so. So too, and I was recently up there for Nutrient, and so buoyant up there, the breeding in Queensland. I think it's great, the positivity to actually see it. And I'm telling people, I say to them, you got to watch this horse. He just had his first Group 1 winner. Was it his first Group 1? Second Group 1 winner. Actually was too. Kate Hargraves will tell me right off of that the other night. And we talk about these crosses over the Sundowns, and he clicks with that cross as well. He's just getting the job done, and $2,200. I mean, he's just ridiculously cheap, but just doing a brilliant job, the old boy. Well, he's not even old.
No, Paul. My personal opinion, he's the most underrated sire in the country. He was such a good horse himself. To win the group races there in France, it takes a very good horse to do that. And then, his statistics, like from the mares that he got. The job that he's done is amazing. He's just everything about him. He's got such a good mind, the horse. He's such a gentleman to be around. His progeny, they trot. They're good gaited. Everyone. I spoke to Alex Ashwood. Recently he's got Stevie G there at the moment, and he obviously was involved with Don't Care early days, and he said he goes, I just can't fold him. He goes, I love him. He said, I could have a barn full of, used to me. So, he's going to stand in Queensland this year. It's hopefully he gets a lot of support up there, because he really is a good stallion. He's a top stallion.
You forget about Don't Care, and I don't mean that in a nasty way. It's just that, he hasn't been on the racing scene for a little while. He's such a lovely horse. That win in the Breeders' Crown, he was just trotting I don't think Alex will mind. He was like, I'm going to win this Group 1. He wasn't necessarily driving the horse the horse. They just love trotting, and same for Rodney the other night with Used to Be a Maid. They seem to love trotting, seem to love finding the line in the right way.
Yeah, they have great attitudes. They sort of have that want to win attitude. I had a mare early days, I'm set to go, and she was much the same. She had that little bit of fight in her, and he seems to throw that in his horses. He was the same. He was. But he was a horse Paul also that had an amazing turn of foot. You know, he could leave the gate like a pacer. You know, he was very, very fast horse, and so I'm not surprised that he's become such a good stallion. You know, we were a little hesitant in early days to give him, you know, big books and all that sort of stuff. We sort of new to the game, I guess, and we sort of didn't really know the marketing, sort of the whole management sort of thing, you know. But yeah, you know, like I'm sure now Pat would, you know, he's happy to give him a good book of mares too.
La Perrier's a horse you've got a lot of time for as well, also by used to me.
Yeah, she's going to be a good horse, Paul. You know, she's probably, you know, 6 months away from or probably even 12 months away from being a real good horse. You know, but yeah, she's so good gator, just doesn't touch anywhere. She's, you know, you could go barefoot, no problem, no check. Yeah, she was average there the other night, but she's pulled up a little sick, so you know, that was probably the reason for that. But yeah, she's a very good filly.
Thanks, mate. Thank you very much. Anyone wants to find out about any of those stands, contact Louise at harassedtrotters.com.au. That'll be across the bottom, so there's no problems there. Get in touch with her. See Anton at the races. Come and see him. Thank you for giving me the time. Thank you always for giving me the time. I think what you do is terrific. Thank you for sponsoring the race with Nutrien as well. And I know Pat, I'll see Pat on Saturday night, so that'll be good. I won't put the microphone in front of you, Pat. If you're watching to this stage, I'll leave him. I'll definitely.
You should.
No, I will not. I time my runs. It is all good. Good luck in the Breed for Speed, but above all else, mate, congratulations on 400 winners, mate.
Thanks.
Great effort and well done. And thank you very much for joining Campbell's comments.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.